Today, this judge in Amarillo, Texas, a federal district judge appointed by President Trump, heard arguments from the plaintiffs in the case who represent doctors, and they are a conservative Christian group, Alliance Defending Freedom. They argue that the FDA should withdraw its approval of this drug because the approval process was flawed, even though it began more than 20 years ago, and that the drug is more dangerous than the FDA has indicated.
One judge says the other. Well, they're just going to have to fight it because I'm not getting vaccines.
Attorneys who represent the FDA and the manufacturer of the drug, they also each side was given about 2 hours, and they spent a lot of their time arguing that this drug is safe, effective. It's been studied extensively, and that it's effective in 96 to 97% of cases, and that even when it's not effective and perhaps a surgical procedure is required, that it's not life-threatening. Well, depending on what the judge decides, this could have very far-reaching effects. This drug, in combination with a second drug, is used in more than half of the abortions performed in the U.S., and in fact is used in more than 80 countries, according to attorneys from the Department of Justice who represented the FDA in today's case. Well, the judge is an appointee of Donald Trump and has written, and his conservative views are well known. And there's a lot of suspicion that the plaintiffs intentionally sought this particular judge because of his conservative views. Now, some abortion providers have indicated that they can use a second drug, the second drug that's currently used in combination with mifepristone, but that second drug is not quite as effective, and therefore, basically, the judge would be making a safe abortion regimen, drug regimen, less safe.
How do we do that?
I think today was a great day, that today was an opportunity for both sides of this issue to be able to come together and very orderly present their cases. Both sides were well prepared, and the judge truly appreciated that. Very respectful court hearings. It was very interesting to hear both sides. I actually felt like we heard three sides, because we also heard from the pharmaceutical side. So that was kind of a third piece of this puzzle.
So this lawsuit, the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine versus the FDA, has been filed by 5 medical organizations and 4 doctors asking the FDA to revisit their approval of the chemical abortion regimen, mifepristone and misoprostol. It appears that the process has been politicized since the beginning. When it was approved in the year 2000, the FDA broke several of its own rules in order to approve it.
Think that'd be good?
It feels very discouraging. It feels like we have gone back in history. When I was a young mother in 1962, they were just starting to let women take the pill. And so now we've come to abortions have been legal since '73, and now they're not. They're not in Texas, they're not in many of the states, and we don't know what's going to happen. The women of America have to rally, the young voters have to get out there and make a difference. We know what it was like before, but it's not easy to convey that to anybody until they've experienced it themselves or with their friends and their family. So the women have to get out and vote and let the people in power know that we are not okay with this.
Sure, I've lived in Texas most of my life, and if a person needs abortion services, we have to drive at least 5 hours to access those services. So medication abortion is the safest and most accessible option now for millions of women across the country, not just in Texas. So it's very scary to know that women are going to be pushed into even a more difficult position when they need or want to terminate a pregnancy.